Yosho. Yosho.
Now that was just a handful of Shiko leg stomps, but the professional sumo wrestlers will do this move 300 to 1,000 times every single morning. So if you don't think you could wake up every day and do 1,000 of those, please give them a big round of applause. Alright, so we have seen Shiko to train lower body. How about the upper body? We're going to see that next with a new technique known as the teppo. Teppo in English means gun or gunfire. So let's check it out next and see how it's done. Teppo, onegaishimasu. Can we get a round of applause for the teppo, please? Now, just as context, George is Gucci's senior. If you sense a little bit of a friendly rivalry between them today, don't worry. It's a natural part of the sumo hierarchical relationship. But nevertheless, teppo is how wrestlers train and condition upper body speed and power. Now, let's learn how the sumo wrestlers move within the dohyo. We know already the dohyo is covered with sand, and therefore the wrestlers have a very specific movement drill they practice called the suriashi. Suriashi means sliding steps. So let's take a look at this next and see how it's done. Suriashi, onegaishimasu. So notice the wrestler never lifts his feet up, making him very stable as he moves around. This is suriashi. Can we get a round of applause for the suriashi, please? Alright, so our two rikishi have now warmed up lower body and upper body and had a chance to move around the dohyo. So we are now going to progress to our final training, combining all three into one. What we will witness next is probably the most intense and difficult of all sumo exercises. It is called the butsu kari geiko, or the charging practice. One wrestler, usually a junior, will have to push a more experienced master across the dohyo, back and forth, again and again, until the master is 100% satisfied that the junior has given it his all. Now, I'm going to warn you up front, this is about to be a very intense and challenging exercise. One which our two rikishi have only agreed to perform on the condition that we all give them lots of support and encouragement. So, ladies and gentlemen, who's ready to cheer for our sumo wrestlers? Alright, so in order to support our rikishi, we're going to learn another very special Japanese word, which we will use loads today. This word is gambare. Can you say gambare?
Gambare!
The meaning of gambare is simple. It means keep fighting, keep going, and never give up. So one more time, nice and loud, gambare!
Gambare!
So when our two rikishi begin, we must cheer, we must shout gambare, and we must make as much noise as humanly possible. Because if we don't, it is going to be very tough for them to survive this exercise. Alright, let's begin. So Gucci prepares to push George across the dohyo, but George at over 160 kilograms is going to stand his ground. So So let's make some noise for Gucci!
Somebody! Somebody!
Let's hear for Mr. Gucci, please! Well, George says he's not satisfied yet, and he's going to make him go again. Let's make some noise for Gucci! Go, buddy! Give it up for Mr. Gucci! George is still not satisfied. Come on, he needs some help, ladies and gentlemen. Go, buddy! As I'm sure you can see, every sumo wrestler hates the Butsukai Geko. It is done every day for round after round, and you're not done until you drop on the floor and your master says you have had enough. And this is why every single year, hundreds of very talented sumo wrestlers quit on their first morning of training because of this exercise. And I hope you can see, ladies and gentlemen, already, sumo is about so much more than being big. Yes, of course you have to be strong. Yes, of course you have to be fast. But you will not last long without the Gambare spirit inside you. Just like Mr. Gucci, you persevere and you never ever quit. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get one more big round of applause to our sumo. Alright, we've seen a little sumo training, so we're now ready to learn exactly how to win a sumo match. Sumo is a very simple sport with only two possible ways you can win. Either you have to push your opponent outside the circular area of the dojo, or cause any part of your opponent's body apart from their feet to touch the ground. Two ways to win, very, very simple. However, sumo has 82 different techniques that can be used in order to achieve this goal. This afternoon, our Rikishi have agreed to show us 4 of them. So, we're going to begin with the simplest of all sumo winning techniques, a move called oshidashi. Oshi means to push, and dashi means to send something outwards. Shall we learn a little Japanese? Can you say oshidashi?
Oshidashi.
Perfect. Now let's see how it's done. Oshidashi, onegaishimasu. A round of applause for the oshidashi. Simple, brutal, yet effective. As you saw, oshidashi relies on raw power, driving your opponent straight out of the ring. Now this is a favorite move amongst the larger sumo wrestlers, and it is a very common one. In fact, 30% of all professional sumo matches are ended using a simple oshidashi. Alright, shall we see the second technique? This one is called the yoni kiri. Yoni means to approach, and kiri means to cut. Can you say that one? Yoni kiri.
Yoni kiri.
Very good. Now let's see how it's done. Yoni kiri. Let's give it up for Mr. Now, yorikiri and oshidashi are quite similar. Could anybody spot the main difference between the two? Anybody spot the difference? Grabbing the belt. There we go. So the yorikiri is a grab, a lift, and a grapple using the belt. It's called the mowashi. It's a very common move amongst medium. It's actually the most popular winning technique in sumo. 40% of all. Now let's see something a little different. The way to win in sumo is to make your opponent touch the ground. There are many ways to do this, including our third technique, known as hataki komi. Hataki komi means to pull something inwards. Can you say that one? Hataki komi.
Hataki komi.
Good enough. Let's try it. Hataki komi.
Oh.
Let's hear it for Mr. George. Now we all saw there Gucci charging in, but with perfect timing, George anticipates and strikes him down. Now this is a very useful technique for small wrestlers when facing larger and slower opponents. But a lot of sumo wrestlers refuse to use the hataki komi because it's considered a little disrespectful to defeat your opponent in under 1 second. It happened quickly, so perhaps Tsurukishi can show us one more time, but in slow motion. Slow motion. So we've now seen the three most fundamental techniques of sumo. They are oshidashi, yorikiri, and hataki komi. Spot for a move that is a lot more rare and exotic. It's a technique known as the uchari or the ring and throw. So can you take that one? Uchari.
Uche.
Let's see how it's done. Uchari. Driven to the edge of the door and facing imminently at the last moment, Gucci turns the tables and is able to use all of George's strength against him to throw him out of the ring. Now the uchari is called the miracle throw. It is one of the rarest sumo techniques. It's only ever been pulled off successfully a handful of times in tournament history. So ladies and gentlemen, we've now seen 4 different ways that you can win in a match of sumo. So let's reverse it, and let's see 5 different ways you can lose a match of sumo. Because, like every sport, sumo has rules that are broken, which in Japanese are called the kinjite. Kinjite means the illegal and the forbidden techniques. So let's learn what these are next, but let's do so with a little audience participation. Meaning, if you think you see either of our sumo wrestlers doing anything that you think looks illegal, please let them know by saying boo! Can we try that once, please? Boo! Now, if you prefer to use Japanese, you can. In Japanese, you say dame.
Dame.
So dame is boo in Japanese, okay? So please say a loud boo or dame as soon as you see anything that you think looks illegal, and then our Tsurukishi can teach us what you can and cannot do in a sumo match. Alright, if you're ready, see if you can spot the first kinjite. Oh no! Now, ladies and gentlemen, this may come as a bit of a surprise. In sumo, you are allowed to slap your opponent. Anywhere on their body, this move is called the harite, the slapping hand. It's often used to break your opponent's rhythm. Now, what you cannot do is close your hand and punch. This is not boxing, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, punching in sumo is dame.
Dame.
Secondly, in sumo, you are allowed to kick. Only if it's below the knee. And you do see occasional sweeping and tripping moves that are very similar to judo, for example. But unlike most other martial arts, kicking or above the knee in sumo is dame. So we have no punching, no kicking above the knee. Let's see the next one. Tsugi
Dame! Yay!
Now, controversially, I must say, choking and strangling your opponent in sumo is
Dame!
it's allowed. You are allowed to choke and strangle your opponent's neck, but you must never grab the hair. It is a sacred symbol of dignity to every sumo wrestler. In fact, it is so sacred that in ancient Japan, if an unlucky wrestler went bald and lost their hair, they would have to retire. Good news, this rule has been reversed, but nevertheless, grabbing the hair is very disrespectful and it's going to get you disqualified. So hair grabbing in sumo is
Dame!
and of course, finally, no strikes to the eyes. As you can see, sumo lacks any protective equipment, and therefore it does not allow moves that could very easily lead to permanent serious injuries. Okay, we have one more kinshite to go. I hope they're still friends. And I do see a lot of families today. Could all the ladies and all the children please now cover your eyes?
Here, I'll video record.
I don't know why there are so many cameras coming out here. Now, I don't know what kind of a show you were hoping to see today. We cannot remove the moashi, the sacred armor of the sumo wrestlers. Now, as you can see, these belts come in various shapes, various colors signifying in some cases the rank of the wrestlers, and very, very long and heavy. And for that reason, it will actually require 2 rikishi to tie up every single time, as we're seeing now. And for obvious reasons, the moashi must be on very securely. So Mr. George, let's get that on nice and tight, please. You're pushing it back on the side there.
Oh! That was personal.
Now, to be truthful, the moashi has to be tied tightly like this because if it comes off during a match, you are disqualified. And this is the most embarrassing way you can lose a sumo match. But if you'd like to see us, join us for our late night show tonight. Because for now, another big round of applause to us. Ladies and gentlemen, in a moment, it is going to be the time we've all been excited for, our main event, our live sumo match. But we're going to take a very brief break now, all together, especially for our two Rikishi to catch their breath, and they also invite to ask some questions at this time. If you'd like to ask something, please now raise your hand. Let's see what they have to say. Let's see how they do. You want to get first?